Greetings, y'all. Got another interview for you with my friend Laura, who I met a couple years ago at an RTR. We did this interview at this current 2024 RTR. And unfortunately, the location that I chose, I thought it was remote, but there were various mechanized vehicles that still found us. But I think you'll still be able to get the gist of what we're talking about. So, hope you enjoy it. This is part one, and thanks for watching. So thanks for agreeing to do this, Laura.
You're very welcome.
You're my second guinea pig.
You're my very first person to interview me, so.
Woo. See, that's the part about becoming a nomad. You get to be famous.
I guess so. Famous.
Famous, yeah, whatever. So first question. Do you remember when you got to that point of crossing the line in your head that you knew, come hell or high water, you were going to become a nomad?
Yes, there's a couple, maybe, moments
that
happened. Probably the first one was when I started going to the virtual caravans.
Virtual caravans, shout out.
Yes. This was during COVID, and I just wanted to see who are these people, and do I even want to know them?
Yeah.
And it turns out I did, and I went to the women's.
Yes, we're a lovely bunch.
Yes. And I just thought they were wonderful and so kind and welcoming and fun. And so that was the first one. It was like, yes, I want to be with these people.
Awesome.
And then the second one, and this is probably even a couple years later, was when I had all these reasons to complain about where I was living, and I thought, I don't have to complain. I don't have to live here. I can sell my house and I can go be a nomad. And because of many reasons, I was in a place of, and I don't have to know anything.
You don't.
No.
You don't.
So that was my motto for all of, I can't remember time anymore, but either last year or the year, I think it was last year.
22.
I don't know what the F I'm doing. And that's okay.
Yes, because you can't until you get out here.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even people who live in sticks and bricks, who think they know no one knows what's really happening.
All adults are just making it up as they go on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought I might as well make it up in a new environment. Get out of my comfort zone, which I definitely am, and it's an adventure. It beats sitting home being retired, just watching time go by.
Tick, 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 tick.
Right. And crabbing about things.
Yeah, it's so easy to do that.
So I don't have anything to crab about now.
You know, that is so, I don't know if profound is the right word. Because we're so happy, we're so much less crabby. I mean, there are things that go wrong, and why do I have to deal with this? But it's so much less than in sticks and bricks. And I'm lucky. Things haven't gone wrong in any kind of major kind of way, so I haven't had to deal with adversity, and I have stayed in a wide variety of, if things get really hard, I have options. Oh, yeah. And we do.
Yes.
Even regardless of where we are, even out in the middle of nowhere, we can still get help. It might seem a little treacherous and a little iffy, but people come and get you.
I know just being in nature was the big, quiet nature sounds. That was really the big motivating factor. And seeing new places, new environments, new people, just being on an adventure.
And that was what you were seeing over and over again in all the videos that you watched.
Yeah, all the YouTube. Yeah, I haven't in the last year or two.
Yeah, there comes a time
watch Bob Wells, but I was watching his weekly thing back when he was doing them weekly or twice a week. Yeah, I guess it goes back to retiring and just not wanting to just sort of sit there and atrophy, exactly. probably a year. I mean, are you taping it now?
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
We're taping.
Probably at least a year. I had a CRV, and people were always saying, "Sure, just go in." I just know me with my age and what my body can and cannot do. I considered it, but not for long. And so then it was, okay, I want a van. Then do I want a ProMaster or a Ford Transit? I knew I didn't. I ruled out the Sprinter right away, fairly soon, because of cost of maintaining it and finding people who know how to do that.
Sure.
So what I did was I was able to, I came to the two RTRs. First time I flew to Phoenix and rented 2 vans.
Yeah.
1 van for a week. I rented a ProMaster. High roof, long, really well built out. I didn't love how it felt. Felt like a tin can to me.
And how else would you know unless you tried it?
Yes. I don't really know how I think about anything unless I experience it. And then this following week, I had to leave the RTR and drove back to Phoenix, and I got a DIY Ford Transit medium roof.
Okay.
And that's where I learned, the Ford Transit drives like a car. And I knew, it's like, no, medium roof is not high enough for me. I'm 5'8".
Okay.
I could stand up, but if I really stood with good posture, I would bump my head.
Yeah.
And then I went back home to New York, and I went on a camping trip with some online ladies. And there in Pennsylvania, I rented the extended body Ford Transit.
Oh, okay.
And to see if I really wanted all that room. And I decided that room wasn't worth the hassle of backing up and all that kind of thing. And it was a high roof. So that's when I decided high roof, 148-inch wheelbase, which is the long one, but not an extended body.
Okay.
And then after my first RTR, I went to my local dealership and ordered a brand new one.
Ooh.
Empty cargo van. And then, this is a great story, my second RTR, at the show and tell, I met Keith, who had the same exact van as I did, and I said, "Do you ever build out vans?" And he said, "Yes, I'd like to start. Will you be my first customer?" And I said yes, and he drove out to Eastern Long Island.
No way. Oh my God.
He drove out. He drove to Tennessee, I think, in 2 days, and drove up to Long Island in another 2 days. It would have taken me 4 weeks. And when I was here at the last RTR, I got the call from my dealership that the van had arrived. Yeah, so it took me 6 months, which is like a snap of the finger compared to most people. I don't know why.
18 months, but it's crazy.
I lucked out.
Yeah.
I lucked out. He came in February, and in 2 weeks, I had insulation and a bed and a bench made with this 80/20 extruded aluminum.
Oh my God.
And so that was the basics to get me on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think basically, I knew, I had a feeling that I didn't want to do this, full-time, day in, months in, years in, without some luxuries in life. And even before I started living in my van, which was last July, the previous year I traveled around pet sitting.
Oh, okay.
And
so you get a break from the road.
Well, I was just trying out, what about this pet sitting gig?
Okay.
I try things out before.
Yeah.
And it was good, but I did local, so I just could do it, come back home, go somewhere else, come back home. And so I had always planned on, like, okay, I'm going to camp some, I'm going to pet sit some, I'm going to visit friends and family some. And if I ever just can't handle things for whatever reason, then I will get a hotel room, an Airbnb, and something like that.
Absolutely.
I promised myself that this was not going to be some survival mission or a big challenge. I'm fortunate that I don't have to be in that position.
Exactly.
And so I want this to be as fun and as comfortable as I can. Everything about it is a challenge anyway. For me.
Exactly.
And how my brain works. I'm not a camper.
So you didn't camp growing up?
As a kid, you know, I didn't have to think about a thing.
Yeah.
And I've changed over the years as I'm older. I mean, when I was 18 and 20, I went to Europe for 2 months and brought friends along and planned everything with a backpack.
Whoa!
I don't recall ever having a thought of what if.
That's amazing.
And now everything is what if. I'm super organized,
That's
like
very
OCD.
Helpful.
You
That's
know,
very helpful.
So that's not an issue. I mean, it takes a lot of time and energy to sort out the van. I've sorted my van out at least 20 times because things change.
They
And
do.
I met up with Keith just a few weeks ago at a pet sit, and he put in upper cabinets.
Ooh,
So that
great.
required a whole new setup.
And then you have to remember where you put it.
I have a Microsoft Word document with 2 different types of database, so I can find things.
Perfect.
I like. Yes, that's easy for me brain-wise. The hardest thing has been finding a bed that I'm comfortable in.
Oh.
I had one from my home, a twin size that worked in my home, and it stopped working on the road for some reason.
Isn't that funny?
And then I didn't think ahead. I didn't think about quality. I bought just from a local place, and that one didn't work. I'm on my 3rd one now that I think might be okay.
Yeah. What kind of mattress is it?
It's from Mattress Insider.
I bought
you've heard of
anti-condensation layer from them.
Okay. So this is a 48-inch, so it's bigger than a twin, smaller than a full.
Okay.
It's the firmest one they have.
Oh.
And then I have a 2-inch topper. I think one of the trickiest things, though, for me and living in my van is doing my overall exercises and stretching.
Yes.
Because my back seizes up if I don't. And then it doesn't matter what I'm sleeping on.
Mm-hmm.
I've spent several nights without sleep
Yes.
if I don't do my exercises.
Yep. And it's a challenge to do it on the road.
It is. And then even in a high roof van, I haven't quite figured out how to sit properly to not hurt my back.
Yes.
To not twist or bend all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the biggest one, to stay physically fit and comfortable.
Yeah.
Anal.
That works. Everything has a place and everything's in it.
Absolutely. And know what those places are.
Oh yeah.
My storage strategy is it's as easy as possible to find it.
Otherwise you lose your mind.
Lose my mind, and I can't be bending and twisting and getting on my knees. No.
And I try.
Right. Well, it's been at the beginning and it hasn't moved. I bought Will Prouse's book.
Yes.
And it's up there in my shelf.
Awesome.
Ready for me to open it. I did open it to flip the pages, and then I stuck it back on the shelf.
All right.
I got a Bluetti.
Yeah.
I just needed something to plug in that could power my 12-volt refrigerator.
Okay.
I did call one of your presenters from last year.
Todd?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was so great, asking me really good questions about, do you prefer this and this and this? And I had no idea what he was talking about.
So let me get back to you on that.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. And so I still have a lot of research to do
Oh,
before I
yeah.
can even answer anyone's questions about what do I want.
So you have the Blue Eddy. Do you have a solar panel?
I have one 200-watt
Oh, that's
solar
good.
panel.
That's good.
Yes.
I only have 100 watts.
Okay. Yeah. It's heavy. 200 watts. I mean, I can do it.
Yeah.
It's not just,
heavy.
oh, pull it out.
That's
and-
why I glued mine to my roof.
Oh, okay. So it's not, it stays
It's
there?
rigid, and it stays there.
Oh, okay.
It's butyl tape and Eternabond.
Yeah, that was one of the questions. Do you want a flat? Do you want to tape it or whatever,
Right.
paste it on? Flat?
Some people do that with
Right.
just duct tape.
Or do you want a low profile or do you want a high profile? And that
I
gets
don't
into,
know.
I don't have any ventilation except for my 2 windows. I have no windows in my van. So eventually will I get a max air fan?
And that'll
or-
take up room on your roof.
Exactly.
For solar,
So that
yeah.
got it. So that's the conversation.